Welcome back, guys. This is Indigo Moon. You know, people will send people to catfish you, and they'll come to you and have good conversation, making plans, all sorts of things. But you know better. And it's no longer time to play any games. It's time to move forward, and it's time to set the record straight, okay? You don't have any time for the nonsense, the wasting of time. Your time is spent with God, and God is the one who's directing the ship. So you roll with him, you move with him, okay? Or her, whichever way you perceive God to be. But in all honesty, you can have relatives who send people to talk to you. I've had white vans coming up, and people have their camera equipment in the window, all sorts of things, and even overhead things. And I don't need to be clear. I mean, I don't even have to clarify that because we already know people have all sorts of equipment, okay? Whether they be those toys that they fly up in the air with the camera attachment or whatever. I mean, some of them come with that equipment now, so the drones, okay? It's just really important that we focus on what it is that we're trying to do. What is it that we are trying to accomplish? Because we're not going to be sitting around all day, and we certainly are not going to be in the same stage forever. Things are moving forward, and as they move forward, we need to be rolling along with them. A lot of people are going to come and they're going to try to distract you. The distraction is merely because of, it could be envy, it could be because they know that you are moving on without them and they don't know what it is that you're planning on doing. You know, I turned the car in, and the person was able to just take the car from the place that I turned it in and just be able to just run amok. That's how you know there's certain laws that are going to be implemented. These laws are because these people, they're making them, with all the mistakes and mockery that they're doing, they're actually doing us a favor. Because so long as they do all this stuff, then we know that certain rules have to be more stern in this country in order for us to actually be in a safer environment. It's important that we realize that, you know, we have our own necessary steps that we need to take in regards to us being safe, in regards to us moving forward, in regards to us just being ourselves. Part of loving yourself means you are not even going to let anybody stress you out. Because you know what? The only reason why they're stressing you out is because they're stressed out. All that negative energy that people send, all of that dark art that they practice, all those things say that they are definitely insecure. And they're not happy about what they're doing or the space that they're in. You see, they've tried to take so much money, they've stolen. My grandmother left me a house. They went ahead and they decided, okay, we're going to change this. They decided to change all sorts of paperwork and everything else. But you know what? God sees the whole thing. So even when God sees the whole thing, that means that the balancing has to come, okay? You have people who will take from you and continue to take from you and never give you anything in return. They will try to latch on to you in different ways, or they'll come together on those Saturday meetings, and while they're in those Saturday meetings, they'll say, okay, you go here and you do this and you do that. And God has been in those meetings as well. They didn't invite God into the meeting. You know who they invited into the meeting. But God is an honorary member of whatever it is the heck he wants to be. So he's in the meetings and he's also listening in. You know, and anyone who participated, even the person you guys gave the free car to, okay? Everyone is going to have to pay their own penalty price. And when they do, that's just what it'll be, you know? You can't continue to do certain things and expect it not to come back to you. In this lifetime, remember to always do well, do good. Put your hands in God's hands and proceed forward. He's not going to lead you in any wrong direction. But at the same time, people will sit up here and they will think that they can do so much. You know, what is it, Psalms 53? I think it was 4th verse. Chapter 50, Psalms 53, read it. And it tells you what happens to the enemies. Because the enemies seem to find their own way in doing all sorts of things that they think that they're going to be able to get away with. Right now, it seems as though you might be winning a race. the best race that you could possibly win is a self-love, God-love journey. Because while you're loving God, you're loving yourself because God resides inside of you. And I'm so sorry that there are people who have been playing church all this time and not realizing that their actions are more important in regards to what it is that they do. You can play church all you want. I played church myself when we were kids. That was one of our favorite games to play because we could shout around and act like we were the minister, fighting over who's going to be the minister. And of course, I was never the minister because I'm a female, and that was not allowed in that house. But either way, it doesn't matter. We're all growing and we're all knowing because we're learning so much from our mistakes as well as others, and we're learning spiritual practices so that we are able to read that Bible and meditate and get the necessary answers that we need. Other people, they could say that they're practicing in spirituality, but they might not be doing just that. And it doesn't matter because we're not worried about other people. We're worried about, in fact, we're not worried at all. How about that? We are just proceeding forward and trying to make sure that we are working it out in the best way we know how, spiritually, reading our Bible and meditating. And also saying your spiritual for Simran, okay? You want to make sure that you are saying your spiritual word and make sure that, that you're speaking over yourself, because people will speak over you and say all sorts of things, and they might think that that's working. They've done the mirror magic. They've done the negative talk. They've done the candle magic. They've done all kinds of stuff, and they can point their finger at other people, but you know what? At the end of this day, God saw it happen. So what we're doing is we're moving forward, and we're not worried about anyone else but what God is directing us to do. So continue to ask for direction from God, because that's who's leading your pack. That's who's leading you to where you need to be. So regardless of what's going on behind you, you leave it back there and let us proceed forward, because it is a lovely day today, and we're going to enjoy it. Indigo Moon here. You have a good one.